So, along the way to work, I looked up at the trees, the palm trees that littered the entire campus. And I recalled that a week or two earlier, a bunch of the maintenance crew would be trimming all the branches off these pine trees, or not pine trees, God, palm trees. And it reminded me of a bonsai plant where their growth and and I guess color, their vibrancy is controlled by how much they can draw from the sun and the nutrients around them. And these palm trees, they won't grow as fast because they don't have enough branches to absorb the sunlight and to absorb, carbon dioxide. And I reflected and noticed that there are friendships, there are relationships around me, not necessarily my own relationships, but relationships other people have had where it has suffered or has not achieved the greatest quality in which would benefit them. And this goes into how our connections, our relationships with people, we're personally like a plant. There is no major difference between the way we relate to our ecosystem than the way a plant does. We need qualitative, not so much quantitative experiences and relationships around us because, mental health has more and more become an accepted part of our lives. And, just like the way we have our relationships, that can be very much corrupted or turned into a very toxic situation. And so let's say, for instance, you have toxic friends. And when you have toxic friends, friends who don't really support your views, that have a better chance of mocking you than supporting you, and yet you stick to those friendships because you have no other friends, then over time you become this toxified individual or have values or an integrity that is not exactly whole. You eventually become a garbage plant. And that position that you take, whether you realize it or not, starts to affect your everyday life and how you relate to other people outside of the toxic circle of people that you know, whether it's family or friends. And it really falls upon us to be responsible for who we are and who we associate with. Because just like with plants, if they're absorbing poor nutrients, they shrivel up and die, or they mutate into some garbage plant. So ultimately, the point of this comparison is that if you want to grow your relationships, friendships, whether it's with your child, parent, a stranger, friendships, coworkers, management, whichever, you have to look at it in a systemic point of view. You have to think of what type of exchange you're having, what type of quality is that interaction? Does it lift you up? Does it push you down? And because in the end, it will affect you. It'll affect the way you do things. Just like a transference of someone's bad mood to your bad mood. You got to know how to cut that off. Or if you feel like you have no choice, you have to be cognizant. You have to be mindful of how you relate to other people with that type of baggage in tow. So all I ask for is to be responsible about how you convey yourself, because no matter how strong you've become, no matter what principles you anchor yourself to, you are still being afflicted, no matter how small or big, by these external forces that feed into you. Because just like with all organic beings in the universe, we will take in nutrients just as much as we will, put out. So hopefully this comparison will help further along your journey in understanding systems thinking, and I'll provide you guys with another example in the next video. All right, take care, guys. For Hourglass, this is JB, this is Jin, and I'll talk to you guys later.